because the crops in the field were ruined by floods. The woman who couldn't afford food had to wait by the roadside, picking up the grains that fell from passing carts. The family had long gotten used to this poor life. Only Patch, the eldest son, refused to accept an ordinary life. He often stared at the ships sailing to Australia, lost in thought. In the afternoon, the family headed home after finishing their work. They happened to meet a rich merchant whose cart was stuck in the mud. The merchant saw Patch's family. He stopped them, hoping they could help. But when the father heard the merchant was English, as an Irishman, the father instantly burst into rage, because the English not only took their land, but also forced all kinds of unfair taxes. Seeing this, the merchant promised to pay 1 shilling afterward.
We don't want your shilling.
A half a crown. Patsy?
The rich merchant hesitated for a moment but still agreed to the price. The father glared at Patch in anger. Even though the whole family was starving, he still wouldn't put down his pride to work for the enemy. But Patch never cared about that. As long as he worked a little, he could earn enough for a month of meals. To him, this was basically free money. After pushing the cart out of the mud, Patch came to collect the money as agreed. But he underestimated the merchant's shamelessness. The promised half-crown turned into just 1 shilling, although this was not what was promised. At least the coin was enough to feed the family for a week. So Patch didn't argue with the merchant. But when Patch handed the coin to his father,
Have you no pride?
his father took it from his hand and threw it straight back into the mud. Patch didn't understand his father's thinking. This was clearly the pay for his work. So in front of his 3 younger siblings, he picked the coin back out of the mud. Then the 4 of them took the coin to a farmer's house and traded 1 shilling for a pig. On the way home, they dreamed of eating pork for a week. But business-minded Patch disagreed. As long as they fed it a bit longer, they could sell the pig for a higher price. Even though life was poor, the 4 siblings never complained. Time quickly passed to half a year later. Patch led the fattened pig and sold it to the merchant. Looking at Australia on the map, they rarely smiled so happily, but reality was nothing like they imagined. Because last year's crops were poor, the father's savings weren't enough to pay the land rent. That's when Patch suggested the whole family move to Australia, and said he had already asked about the immigration cost. Unexpectedly, his words ignited his father's rage.
I want that pig, Patsy.
It's sold.
Are you telling me that you've kept money back from this family? Oh no, Patsy. You hand that money over to me now.
To ease the tension between them, the mother pulled out the only valuable ring she had, but the father harshly refused. As the decision-maker of the family, no one in the family dared to oppose him. Helpless Patch pulled out 1 coin, but his father wasn't satisfied. He demanded Patch hand over everything.
Give me all of it.
No!
Pushed to the limit, Patch chose to fight back. The 2 fought from inside the house to outside. The elderly grandmother fainted in anger at the sight.